Hi, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for joining me for another presentation from the Crime Victims Council of the Lehigh Valley. My name is Lauren Silva, and I am an outreach prevention educator. And if you've been through these presentations before, welcome back. If you are new, welcome, and I hope to have you join virtually in the future. So before we get started, I always like to tell you a little bit about the Crime Victims Council and who we are. So we started in 1973, and we were known as just the local rape crisis center. So we worked with victims and survivors of sexual assault. However, we then became a comprehensive service. So what that means is we will work with anybody and their significant others and or friends, other family members that have been directly or indirectly impacted by a crime. So that could be sexual assault, it could be robbery, theft, even bullying. We will work with you and to provide our services at no cost, and they are confidential. We are located in Lehigh and Northampton counties, so you can access our services through one of these counties. The services that we provide are based on you. We want to empower you to be able to give you choice in how you move forward. If you choose to report a crime, if you don't choose to report a crime, we will support you through that process, especially through our direct services and counseling department. We have counselors that will work with you based on your need and your availability and try to meet those needs. Because we are in COVID-19, unfortunately still, we are providing our services primarily through telehealth. So what that means is you will be meeting with a counselor over the computer via Doxy.me, which is a confidential video platform, sort of like Zoom. We are also trying to offer group services for caregivers, for survivors, so please check out our website at cvclv.org. In addition to that, we provide police, court, and hospital accompaniment services. What that means is we have court advocates in both Lehigh and Northampton counties. And if you decide to go through a court process, they are there to help and assist you and be with you every step of the way. Then we have our outreach and community involvement piece, in which that is primarily what I do. It's myself, another outreach educator, and our supervisor. We are in schools, we are in businesses, we work with community agencies, and our main goal and objective is to help you understand sexual violence, understand and recognize signs of maybe unhealthy relationships, bullying, and help you provide and start conversations with your friends, your families, about ways that you can prevent some of this violence in the future and be that change for different people to come after you and provide that education through this empowerment piece. I also want to give you our 24/7 hotline. This is completely confidential. If you don't want to say your name, if you call, you don't have to. We just want to make sure that you're safe and that you're getting the care that you need. Even if you don't need this hotline, maybe a friend, a family member could use it in the future. So have this in mind as we go through or you learn more about our services. So let's get into the crux of everything and talk about self-esteem and what it is. So basically, it is how much you appreciate and like yourself. It involves a variety of beliefs about yourself, such as your appearance, emotions, and your behaviors. And it includes everything from those specific attributes to abilities. It helps you want to try to do new things. So before, with high self-esteem, you'll think, I can do this, instead of this is too hard. Self-esteem also looks like, I'm a great painter. Or you can have some low self-esteem, which we'll talk about a little bit, that I'm a terrible friend. Sometimes you'll see self-esteem being about self-worth, self-regard, and self-respect. But basically, you are valuable, and it's your responsibility to accept yourself, to build your self-esteem. So think about some of these statements and how you agree. Let's check in on your self-esteem. I like the way I look. I think I'm not as good looking as other friends in class. Where do you fall? It is okay to make mistakes when I make mistakes because I learn, or it really upsets me to make mistakes. I'd like to try new things. I'm afraid to try new things. I have friends who will be there when I need them. I don't have friends at all. Whether I win or lose, it's okay. Or I'm afraid to lose. How do you think you did? What are you thinking about right now as we went through these statements? Each person's experience is different, but over the course of your lifespan, self-esteem will rise and fall with certain things, and it's sort of like a systematic way, something that makes sense, that sometimes we might not think we are good at something, and then we build our skills, and then we find out that, hey, it wasn't so bad after all. And self-esteem says no one person is less worthy than the next, and no one is deemed more important. So knowing this is crucial. And to feel more confident and to have healthy self-esteem, it helps to put aside fears of being worthless and worth less than others. So how can we meet and be at our best potential? We see these kids over here building up on our pyramid. And what this tells us, and to build our self-esteem, we need to have some physical needs met first, right? We need to feel safe and secure. And then that's how we feel belong. We feel that we're accepted. And then we start to build our self-esteem. And as we increase our self-esteem, we want to learn more. We feel great about ourselves, and we can reach our potential. So some signs of high self-esteem. We're able to avoid dwelling on our past and negative experiences. We're able to express our needs. We feel confident. We have a positive outlook on life. We can say no when we want to. A lot of times this is really tricky. I know for me, I've learned to say no more often, more regularly, because that's taking care of myself. If I don't want to do something, I shouldn't have to do it because it'll make other people feel better. I do it because I want to do it. Maybe I'm tired. Maybe I have a lot of homework. Maybe I just want some alone time. But that increases our self-esteem then, because we're able to give back and be a better person, not only to ourselves, but to our friends. And we can see our strengths, and maybe sometimes we can see some of our weaknesses, and we're able to accept both of them. Things don't have to be this or that. They can be both and. I can be happy and I can be sad, right? But what about some signs of low self-esteem? Some of these include we're avoiding new things and not taking up new opportunities. We're feeling unloved, maybe that we're not wanted. Maybe we're putting the blame on others. We're a little bit more sensitive and we're not able to deal with maybe normal levels of frustration. And what that means is we all have our own baseline. So what may frustrate me quicker, it may take you a little bit longer to get frustrated. But when your baseline is heightened and you're becoming a little bit more quick or testy, we want to pay attention to that. Maybe we have a fear of failure or embarrassment. And this is not to say that this is not normal, right? We sometimes have fears that we're not going to do well, or we're embarrassed if we trip. That doesn't necessarily mean our self-esteem is always low, but this is when some things are chronic or they happen more often than not. Difficulty making friends, low levels of motivation, and it's difficult to take compliments. And we're often maybe having mixed feelings of anxiety and stress. And some things that can contribute to this is maybe we have unsupportive caregiver systems, right? We know that our friends, our family play an influential role in our life. But when we're not getting our basic needs met, we can have some low self-esteem. Maybe we have friends who are a bad influence, that they're being a rebel, if you will. And that may get us in trouble. And even though we thought maybe doing something was fun and cool, now we're being frustrated, we're comparing ourselves to others, and that can lead to poor performance at school, setting unrealistic goals, or we can have low self-esteem from trauma or abuse. And I just want to take a moment to recognize trauma is a big word, and trauma can be a scary thing. And trauma happens when our brain and our body are not cohesive, in line with each other, and they impact our ability to function on a daily basis. And no person's trauma is bigger or worse or smaller or better than the next person. We all experience things differently. Another cause of low self-esteem could be if we're depressed or we have anxiety. I always like to make the distinction between sadness and depression, because it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be depressed, but depression is more intense, lasts days, it's debilitating on our lives, where sadness sometimes ebbs and flows. Maybe we're experiencing bullying, or there's maybe something ongoing that we need to continue to monitor for signs of low self-esteem. So how can we increase our self-esteem, right? We know that some people act in ways that can tear us down, or others lift you up by what they say and do. It's important to be able to tell the difference. It's important to have friends who are genuine. A lot of times it's not anymore about quantity, but it's really about quality over quantity. So choose friends who help you feel okay about yourself. Find people you can be yourself with, and be that type of friend to others. So be with people who treat you well. Saying helpful things to yourself, those positive affirmations. Tune into that voice in your head. Are you being too hard on yourself? Are you questioning things? Maybe it's really helpful to write some things down, track your mood, journaling, and then write some positive affirmations that you can say to yourself, and look over that list. And if there are things that you'd say to a friend, that's great. But if you are writing some things that are maybe a little bit negative, that's okay, because you're expressing your feelings. But rewrite them in a way that's true, fair, and kind. And read these phrases often. You can do it until it's a habit and you just sort of start doing it without realizing it. That's all about self-care. And it's always good to do the best that you can. And when you think that you need to be perfect, you can't feel good about anything less. Accept yourself and let yourself feel good about that moment. Ask for help if you can't get past a need to be perfect. I recognize that you are at a tough age, and especially here in COVID-19, learning virtually, feeling isolated, and feeling impacted by social media. So doing things that are good for you. Maybe you want to eat healthier, get more fit, or study better. Make that a goal and make a plan for how to do it and stick with that plan. It's okay if you miss a day or you fall back, because that's showing that you're progressing, and that we're human, right? We're meant to make mistakes and be proud of what you've done so far. Say, I've been following my plan to work out every day for 45 minutes. I feel good about it. I can keep up with it. So focusing on what goes well, because sometimes we're so focused on talking about what doesn't go well, and it's easy for us to get caught up into what is wrong. So we need to be able to balance it with what is good. And next time you catch yourself when you complain about yourself, find something that went well. For example, I was doing this presentation and I was starting to record it. I had a sneeze attack and I got really frustrated with myself because I had to stop because I thought it was unprofessional, and I had to start over. Instead of really dwelling on it and saying, oh, how stupid of me to have a sneezing attack, I accepted that it is what it is, it happened, and I can move on. And then give and help. Giving is one of the best ways to build self-esteem. I know I truly enjoy giving back because that makes me feel good. That's the gift that I like to receive back. So maybe you can tutor a classmate, maybe help clean up your neighborhood, walk for a good cause, donate, help out at home, or see what you can do at school. So make it a habit to be kind and fair and do the things that make you proud of the kind of person you are. So when you do these things, they make a difference, even a small one. And when you do, your self-esteem will grow. So before we talk about getting your daily dose, I also just want to make the differentiation between confidence and arrogance, right? Building self-esteem involves loving yourself, accepting yourself, valuing yourself, and it builds confidence, right? Confidence wants us to be able to move forward, propel, help others. Well, arrogance tends to be boastful and prideful and more superior. So it's important to make those distinctions about self-esteem, self-compassion, loving yourself. And if somebody says, you're just being too happy, why are you always this way? Maybe that's a reflection of them and how they're feeling. And instead of getting frustrated and upset with them, how can you turn that and help them to have them be happy with themselves? So, your daily dose, meeting your happy chemicals. I really enjoy talking about this because I think the brain is fascinating, but I won't bore you too much. But you can help remember your happy hormones by dose. We have dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. So these help you just be happy, right? Dopamine. So if you have low self-esteem, you're feeling hopeless, you have mood swings, dopamine will increase if you maybe set long-term goals, you have a to-do list. Oxytocin, that is feelings of if you're feeling anxious or stressed. This is known as the cuddle or love hormone, and this plays a role in bonding. So socializing, maybe getting a massage, having a cold shower, meditating. Your serotonin, this is feelings of importance, and it can calm form of accepting yourself. And again, if you have low self-esteem, you can't sleep, or you don't want to go out, that can inhibit you. But if you exercise, you get sunlight. Vitamin D is very important. And then you have your endorphins. This is kind of like that euphoria of a rush of adrenaline, and it's a response to pain. So maybe it's anxiety again. We're impulsive. So cry it out. Get a massage. Eat dark chocolate. As you can see, a lot of these things intertwine with one another and can make you happy. So think of that dose and think of what you want out of it. Because what happens is if we are way too stressed, we're really, really upset, cortisol is our stress hormone, and that can make us angry and unhappy. So it's really important to be able to balance some of those things, because our brain is a very powerful part of us, that it was what controls things are our feelings and what we do, how we act, how we respond. So it's important to note that there are chemicals in your body to recognize that can help us or inhibit us some of these times, because they help regulate our mood. And let's talk about some self-love. Loving yourself doesn't mean you think you're the smartest, most talented, and most beautiful person in the world. Instead, when you love yourself, you accept your weaknesses, appreciate these so-called shortcomings as something that makes you who you are. When you love yourself, you have compassion for yourself. So finding the happiness in the everyday things. Happiness starts right now and where you are. Fall in love with being kind to yourself. It's really hard to not see your friends, maybe not see your grandfather, your grandmother, aunts, uncles. But fall in love with doing all little things that make you smile. Maybe it's just, you're wearing cat pajamas. Those are some self-love goals, because we are in control of what we can control. We can't control that we've ran out of toilet paper. We can't control COVID-19, but we can make things better by controlling what we can control. Maybe we're calling our grandparents more. Maybe we're letting go of not seeing them enough and feeling guilty because of now COVID-19. It's being able to have that self-compassion. And scientists have said that these three components build self-compassion. So you have self-kindness, connectedness, and mindfulness. Self-kindness, you're accepting towards yourself. Connectedness, you're aware and acknowledge that people go through difficult things, that you're not the only one that does go through difficult things. And mindfulness, that you're present without judgment. I have a presentation on mindfulness and emotions if you would like to watch it. Mindfulness can be difficult, but once you let go of wanting to be perfect, wanting to have that control, it comes natural. So self-compassion, again, thinking about treat yourself as you would treat a good friend. And it sort of has this yin and yang effect. It's opposites coming together. We want to have validation. We want to be soothed and comforted, but we also want to protect and be provided for and be motivating. How can we mesh these two together and being able to continue this cycle of self-compassion where we can recognize we're flexible, we're kind to ourselves, we're not judging ourselves for how we feel, we're just letting that be, and then we can refocus. So instead of just ignoring your pain with a stiff upper lip and saying, ha, I'm fine, you can tell yourself, this is really difficult right now. How can I care for myself and what do I need? Instead of judging ourselves, saying, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or how could I be so stupid? They're going to laugh at me. Self-compassion means that you're kind and understanding when you're confronted with such adversities and maybe what you call personal failings. Because being perfect is a construct. What that means is it's built by society of these messages of how we're supposed to be. But we know that's not true. So you may try to change in ways that allow you to be more healthy and happy. But this is done because you care about yourself, not because you're worthless or unacceptable, but again, because you're worthless. And having compassion means that you honor and accept your humanness, right? And I know this is a presentation that is just seems to be maybe super happy, like nothing can go wrong. And I want to call into that yes, there are some sucky days and things that just really suck. And if you need to have that bad day, you can have that bad day. You are allowed because all feelings are valid. So we can see this picture here on our right of before and after mindfulness. This is a student that drew this, and I think this speaks a lot of things to maybe help you connect to. Like, the mind was dark and they were mad, it was unorganized, they're cluttered, they're out of control. But once they could suspend judgment and accept things, they're happy, they're in control, and they're calm, they're focused, they're clean, right? They're able to have that sense of control. They're logical about their thoughts. And this is what builds resiliency, things that can build us up and be happy and comfortable with who we are. So this increases the self-esteem, it builds empathy, and a lot of this stems from our coping skills. Coping skills are attitudes and our values that help us get through stress. And if we can build all these things into one another, we're kind to ourselves and we treat others how we want to be treated. I'm a big fan of saying the energy that we put out is the energy that we attract. So self-kindness can look like we're deleting an app. Maybe we're muting a group chat. We're saying no. We're cutting down our to-do list, especially if we have a lot of homework and maybe homework isn't due until the next week. So what I like to do is I make my to-do list each day. And if I don't get to everything on my to-do list, I don't leave my to-do list out. I rip it up, crumble it up, or I throw it away because tomorrow is another day. Trying to limit our consumption of bad news, whether that's Facebook, TikTok drama, I know you guys don't use Facebook anymore, Instagram, or even just reading the news. A lot of times it's just been difficult lately to read the news, and I always like to say, for the truth, there's your side, my side, and then the truth, right? So there's 3 sides to every story. And to make progress, we're asking for help. That is such a big sign of growth and independence and self-respect that we can ask for help. We're embracing imperfection. We love ourselves, so we can then be kind to us and accept when things aren't going okay. But then we're also trying new things. We're trying different ways of coping, different things to increase self-love, compassion, and our self-worth. right? So why is it so hard for us though to self-love? Maybe we weren't raised how to self-love. So we were taught, right, how to read, how to write, how to use a calculator, build things, study, write a paper, analyze. We have our ways of saying please and thank you, as well as what's acceptable and unacceptable to others and our society at large. But self-love really maybe has not been taught, because if we're not taught the value of self-love in childhood, maybe then it's not seen as socially acceptable. And then a lot of people get sad and depressed, maybe increases anxiety, maybe they resent others because they see people as happy and they wonder why they can't be happy. So we have a flimsy self-esteem. So things that we can do is to be your own advocate, engage in self-care, and learn to say no. Have conversations with your parents. Studies have shown that individuals your age want more stuff about mental health, self-care, self-compassion, because this is important to you and it's not silly. So things that can affect your mood without you realizing it. The weather. I know for me, being stuck inside basically since March and not really going into work, I don't get a lot of sunlight. So if I don't have the sun on my face and it doesn't come in through my apartment, I'm sad. It really impacts you. What we eat, how much we slept. Movement is very important. We're not going between classes anymore. We're sitting at a computer. So then we engage in this self-criticism piece that, I'm horrible, I'm such a failure, or I just hate how I look today, I'm so ugly. How can we turn that stuff into self-support and self-love? How can we reframe that I will try my best? I'm grateful for my body for allowing me to experience my life. Because things that don't define you are your mistakes, your problems, an illness or disability in your thoughts. But things that do define you, your goals, your attitude, creativity, your personality, your perspective, your habits. These things can help cultivate stronger relationships and friendships and build your communication. Because if you can accept that you've made the mistake, that maybe you have a disability, or that your thoughts are there, they'll help you be a better you. Right? So we have these pieces as just a reminder of what you can do for self-love. And if you are struggling today, your mission is to only focus on the next 24 hours. Try not to focus next week. Make that to-do list for today. Add in self-care. Reminder that things do get better and that you are so loved, even when it feels like you aren't. You're worthy. Breathe and accept yourself. I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your school year. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the Crime Victims Council of Lehigh Valley. And I look forward to you joining me again. Bye-bye.